Hi, this is Raj from Sportscars. In this video I'm going to review something that people ask me to review a lot, which is car covers. And for this video I'm going to be comparing several different types of car covers. I'm not going to mention manufacturers specifically because I don't want to name and shame which ones are great, which ones aren't. I've dealt with a lot of different car covers over the years and I'm just going to share some of my experience with them. The car I'm going to use in this video is a 997 Gen 2 Carrera S in Atlas Grey. You may have seen it in some of my other videos. And I'm going to start basically with the cheapest car covers indoors, and then move to the outdoor covers as well, covering the Porsche genuine ones and some other non-named manufacturer covers. So I'll first get the cheapest one, put it on the car, and we can see what it looks like, and I'll explain some of the advantages and disadvantages of it. Right, as you can see, this is a very lightweight cover. These come in all sorts of colours. These are what I would describe as dust covers, dust sheets, because even though they're contoured and stitched, I'll just show you the stitching and things. Even though it's contoured, it's obviously not built to fit the car. It hasn't got the wing mirror inserts there. It can, if you get one that's slightly too big like this one is, it will sort of rub on the floor, and that can be a disadvantage of this type of cover. Is it's very easy for it to sort of touch the floor and then potentially get some of the, if you've got quite a dirty floor, contaminants back onto the paintwork, so just be very careful of that. They tend to have a little label at the front telling you whether it's the front or the back. So you would use that to sort of figure out have you got it the right way around. I think I've actually just put this on inside out, looking at it now. But this is not really great for obviously outdoors. It will blow off very easily in the wind. It's not great for waterproofing because it is just literally a very light elastic type of material. But what it is good for is if your car's indoor in a nice garage, keeps the dust off of it. And if you do get in this, like obviously I've got a big barn here, if you get bird poos and things, it will stop them sort of getting onto the paint. So that's sort of the cost-effective indoor cover. But you'd just be aware that it is a very slippery material. So if the car's freshly polished like this one, it's very easy for half of it to end up on the floor. So I'll just take that one off now. Okay, so this is the other sort of indoor cover option, which is actually, in this case, it's a genuine Porsche one. It has the Porsche logo and crest on the front printed on it. It's also fitted, as you can see. So, as you saw, I found the badge first to figure out where the front is. It does have labels as well, just like the other one, to show which is the front. It's fitted in terms of it has mirror pockets, so these are specific to the individual model you order from Porsche. It's all nicely stitched. It doesn't reach the floor if you get the right one, and it's all elasticated around the edge, so it sort of hugs the car. Now, this one for me is my preferred. I mean, I've tried lots of different covers, as I said. This is the preferred indoor one for me, is to get a car-specific one from Porsche, because not only does it look really great, it's the right fit. It does what the other one does, but better, so it stops dust. It does. I've actually found that these have a slight amount of water repellent in the material. The only real disadvantage is obviously when you put tyre gel or whatever to make the tyres black, with it being a white cover, and these are only available in white as far as I'm aware, they will sort of pick up the gel that you use on your tyres, and it will get quite grubby in those areas over time. It is washable, and it will get grubby also around the exhaust tips, because obviously it goes and touches the exhaust tips there. But just like the cheaper one, it will do a good job of stopping bird poos Actually, no, it doesn't. I was wrong. It doesn't have a label at the front to say it's the front, because you essentially use that as a guide. And then what I did was find that, put that at the front, and then slide in one mirror, then slide in the other one, and then sort of move it across, stretch it across the back and front, whichever is your preference. So that's my choice indoor-wise. And they are, I mean, it obviously varies depending on where you're based in the world. It varies how much they are, but in the UK, from memory, these are around either 200 or 250 pounds from Porsche, but you can actually get 10% off if you are a member of Porsche Club Great Britain or the other big one, which is TIPEC. I think if you order and give them your membership number, you'll get 10% off of one of these covers. So I'm going to take it off now and show you the next option. I also forgot to mention that this comes with a storage duffel bag as well. Most of these car covers do come with some kind of case to store them in when they're not in the car, but it's quite a nice case with the Porsche ones. Okay, so here is the case that the indoor Porsche one comes with. It's like a little duffel bag with tech equipment. Should have the model name there, and then obviously the nice crest. And that's a great way to store the cover when you're not using it. One thing I should just quickly say before I put on the next cover is that always make sure a car is absolutely gleaming, clean, no dust, no debris on it, no mud or anything on the paintwork. Otherwise, if you get that kind of material between a car cover and the car itself, it will likely cause like sort of micro scratching. Even just putting it on and off once could cause damage to the paintwork, so just be aware of that. Okay, this is now an outdoor car cover. It's a single layer sort of breathable cover, which is probably the cheapest type of outdoor cover you can get. As I said, I'm not going to mention any brands. I find these are actually decent, more decent as indoor covers because they're quite lightweight and obviously they're breathable. They stop the dust just like the indoor ones. There are some flaws to it. I mean, it is semi-fitted, so it has pockets for your mirrors. It has a label at the front to tell it's the front, so you can put it on relatively easily. It also has buckles, so it has buckles here that you've got straps to basically strap it underneath the car. So you comes with two straps. So this buckle would then, with a strap, link up to the other side inside the rear wheels, and this one would do the same but at the front wheels, so it would stop it from blowing away. So that's a good thing. The big disadvantage of this one for me is in heavy rain it will let some water through. Not such a big deal because it's breathable, it will dry out, but I would just say don't leave a cover like this on a car like indefinitely, because you will get moisture build up in everywhere, and it could actually speed up corrosion on a car by leaving it in a cover like this. Also, because it's only a single layer and it's relatively easy to tear, you can see it's already torn there. That's literally from just catching on the edge of a number plate. It's caught on a corner there and just sort of cut it open. So they're quite fragile. Also, I've noticed this one's a couple of years old now, probably 3 years old. On this paintwork, I don't know if you can see it. It's the material, and this is a similar theme that I found on a lot of aftermarket car covers, is over, even if they're fleece lined, 3 or 4 years, they start, basically the material starts breaking down. So you've got it, I mean, this was perfectly polished before this video. You've got dust, actually the fabric itself, just sort of breaking apart and depositing itself on a car. So you might have a really nice shiny car, and then essentially the car cover means that you have to dust it after taking the cover off. Now, that kind of spoils the whole process of using a car cover. Why would you cover a car up and it ends up, in my eyes, slightly worse for wear, the car that is, having the cover on? So for me, I would say that if it's a particular brand which, like this, it breaks down over time,
it's not, you would only use it for 1 or 2 years, and then unfortunately you'd have to buy a new one. So factor that in. Even though the Porsche ones are sort of £250, and that's even for the outdoor ones, they're £250. It does sound like a lot, but I believe their longevity is built into them. They're designed to be durable for longer than maybe some of these material-based ones, which even if they're like 3 or 4 layers, can start to do what this one's doing, which is degrade over time.
Okay, now I'm going to show you my favourite one, which is the Porsche outdoor cover. It is model specific, so do order the right one for your car. It's my favourite for a lot of reasons, but I'll show you that obviously it comes in a bag, which is actually attached to the cover itself, so I'll talk through exactly what I'm doing. So first of all, it's got a little suction cap there, which you adhere to the top of the windscreen, like so. So it just sits there. And then you find the zip. There's a single zip. Now what I tend to do is unzip it. So unzip it all the way, but hold it shut still. And then the easiest thing to do is take this and fold it underneath where you've suctioned it. So the case is completely on the windscreen, so the zip isn't touching the paintwork at all. And then you should be able to very easily unfold it from the case. So you'll see the Porsche badge just like on the indoor one, and then you'll be able to, there's a clear section, perspex section for actually the rear number plate. I'm not sure if that's more designed for the collectors who have several Porsches and they don't know which one's under which cover. Porsches do look quite similar when they're under a cover because of the shape. It also has these straps here, and the idea of these is, and it took me a little while to figure out because I hadn't read the instructions, but if you read the instructions, it's got 2 of these straps which are sort of elasticated with a round toggle on the end. They're designed to sit in the front boot area, so you just literally drop them in. The other one as well. And they're basically to stop the cover from blowing away or someone stealing the cover. So you can't take the cover without cutting that cord sort of attached to the vehicle. When you lock the car, you can't take it off. And then the next stage is to put it over the mirrors. I think it's caught on this side. Yeah. These are quite a snug fit. So once they're on, they're a really, really lovely snug fit. So I'll do the front first. Stretch it around again, so that's the case at the front. Make sure it goes all the way to the bottom. There we go. And both sides. And then actually I'll just grab the camera to show you what I'm going to do at the back. They have a zippered section.
They have a zippered section here, so it makes it a very tight fit. So you basically zip that up and then it becomes really tight. So just do that now. Be careful not to zip in the inner seam as you do this. I've done that a couple of times. It's taken me a little while to take it off again. And then it has actually a pull string to pull the elastic that's around the whole car, and then also a buckle, again to secure it. So very unlikely it will get blown off in the wind. And there you can see there's a little number plate section there, so you can tell exactly which car is which, and it sort of sits nicely over the exhaust, nice and snug around the wheels. Just sort of make sure it's all nice. I mean, you can pull that drawstring quite tight at the back that I showed you, but to me I think that's the best option. In fact, I use these indoors as well because they work so well. Now this material it's a single layer fabric, but it's very lightweight, very slippery, doesn't really pick up any dust or dirt on it, so it is more forgiving if you do have an issue where you've got a little bit of dust on the car or debris. It's less likely to cause scratching. The other thing that people ask me about, if they have a car outdoors, should they even have a car cover? Now, I would say if you're parked under trees and things, it is a good idea because it stops leaves and stuff falling into the front scuttle, under the bonnet, into the door seals, into the back. So it can be a godsend, especially when the leaves are falling, or you've got a particularly, if you're in a particularly dusty environment, it does help as well. But I would say you have to take it off regularly, clean the car, let the car dry out, let the cover dry out as well. It's just about extra awareness. You can't just leave a cover like this on a car indefinitely and expect it to do an amazing job. I mean, they are breathable, but you do need to air things out, take the car out, clean the car regularly still. It doesn't mean you can't, you can just get away with not maintaining your car. So I would say they are great. They can be a bit of a hassle because you have to put them on when the car's clean, so every time you take it out and then you want to cover up, you have to then clean the car after you drive. So to those people who don't want to clean their car fastidiously every time they put a cover on it, I would say don't run a cover on it and just clean it regularly, even if it's outdoors. Because these cars are designed to be left outdoors, even without car covers. It's just a nice little thing to be able to do. And I've actually got some of these that are very old. The logo's all faded at the front, but they still perform perfectly. So they still stop water ingress. They obviously stop bird poos, dust, anything getting on the car. They still fit nicely. The seams don't rip. The material doesn't rip at the front because it's a more durable material than the one I just showed you. And yeah, this one is the one that gets my vote if you are spending on a car cover. If it is purely indoors, then yeah, maybe consider the other Porsche one, the indoor soft, the soft one. But for me, this is the best because also it has that case which is also attached to it, and it has that adjustment at the back to sort of make it nice and tight. I just like features like that, and I'll just take it off now as well so you can see how easy it is to fold it up. So there we go, that is the cover all folded away. Has a nice soft backing to sit against the windscreen. It has that suction cup there to go up the top of the windscreen, basically in line with the rear view mirror. And yeah, nicely easy to store in the front boot or in your garage or wherever you want to keep it. I hope you found this video useful. Please do like this video. If you've got any questions or comments, please do feel free to leave them below. Please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.